Artifacts buried on Mars, cities, factories, spacecraft. Mars, also known as the Red Planet, has always been of interest to people since ancient times and is included in Greek mythology, at least in various ways. Perhaps it's not so coincidental that the name of the god of war was Mars, Ares in Greek. Perhaps it's not so coincidental the possible existence of a neighboring planet in the past that in our time there are only debris, and it's said that they could belong to a celestial body called Phaethon. Many argue that the space war between the planet Phaethon and Mars was a defining event in which Phaethon exploded, or for other reasons we cannot know, so that the catastrophic event also destroyed the civilization of the red planet Mars. Could the planet Phaethon really have had an intelligent life? Could the planet Mars ever support intelligent beings? When scientists refer to extraterrestrial life beyond and outside our planet, they imagine germs and other such tiny things. However, among the few, one scientist has a different view and argues that there could be lost civilizations of Mars with cities, factories, and mines buried beneath the surface, and moreover, that these could be found. This is Jason T. Wright, professor of astronomy and astrophysics at Penn State University in the USA, who is also a member of the Center for Exoplanets and Habitable Worlds. He claims that if they do exist, cities, factories, etc., could be buried on Mars, Venus, or Earth, but the interest lies in the reasoning that supports his claims. In an article published on ARXIV, a website where the studies are published before being reviewed and approved, it states this: one of the primary open questions of astrobiology is whether or not life in the solar system exists or has disappeared. The significance of much of this work is that we seek microbial or at best non-intelligent life, although technological objects may be much easier to find. SETI's search for foreign objects in the solar system, SETI is search for extraterrestrial intelligence, usually assumes that such objects would be of extrasolar origin, although life is known to have existed in the solar system on Earth for centuries. But if previous technological, perhaps space species ever appeared in the solar system, they could have produced objects or other technological signatures that have survived to this day, which means that these artifacts would provide SETI with a possible way to solve it, the issue of astrobiology mentioned above. He then tells us that these potential finds could be found, which in essence are the holy grail of all those who seek past or present intelligence life outside of Earth. Here we analyze the origins and possible locations of such technological signatures of pre-domestic technological species that may have developed on ancient Earth or another celestial body, such as in the pre-greenhouse state of Venus or on a wet Mars. In the case of Venus, the state of her greenhouse, Venus, we're saying her because in Greek it's the name of it is Aphrodite, and it's a she. The state of her greenhouse and the possible remodeling of her soil may have erased all the evidence of the findings from its surface. In the case of our Earth, erosion and ultimately tectonic plates may have erased most of these elements if the species that created them lived millions of years ago. The rest of the indigenous technology signatures can be expected to be very old, limiting the parts that can be found even below the surfaces of Mars and the Moon or in the outer solar system. This is what he says. So could science have already overlooked the ruins of ancient intelligent civilizations in our solar system? On Earth, for example, could there be significant findings of ancient technology buried below the surface due to erosion over time, which the movement of tectonic plates and earthquakes, etc., sucked up and disappeared? In contrast, on Mars, there seems to be no such tectonic activity. Erosion seems to be minimal, so it's possible that several finds and elements of an ancient civilization of intelligent beings are hidden under the dust of thousands of millions of years, but then why do not their outlines appear? Although there are several cases of images from official NASA sources which seemed to show shapes that referred to buildings, such as a city wall with walls, a possible dragon house, and even objects on Mars that looked like complete statues from top to bottom, feet, and much more. Some explanations for their flattening could be asteroid falls or a generalized but technological advanced war. Jason T. Wright seems to believe that factories or buried cities could be found underground, perhaps even spacecraft, why not? But in order for this to happen, careful research must be done on this idea and for this purpose. In fact, his study, whether approved or not, whether revised or not, is a kind of appeal to the scientific community to focus its research on traces of finds that may have created intelligent beings beneath the Earth's surface, Mars or the Moon, and not just looking for traces of life on the surface of planets other than the solar system. True, if they found something, they would announce it? Question mark. At present, officially, nothing has been found that shows technological findings that were created by intelligent life, earthly, extraterrestrial, ancient, or modern. But nowadays, there are more devices and state-of-the-art tools that can be used for this purpose. I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.